the global internet governance forums. So we play quite an important role in providing a platform for Australians to share their diverse perspectives. So this year's NetThing is focused all around a meta-narrative of building bridges, which is a theme that encompasses all that NetThing stands for and hopes to achieve. Bridges connect people. They span across spaces that divide us, and they make connections and provide an opportunity to share ideas, thoughts, and perspectives. NetThing acts as a bridge. It exists to provide an open and inclusive platform for the discussion of public policy issues which relate to the internet in Australia. So under this narrative of building bridges, 4 themes were chosen, and those themes are trust, inclusion, environment, and health. And I'd like to extend a huge thanks to the community for your input on the themes and providing feedback to us throughout the year. We took that into consideration when selecting our final meta-narrative and also our track themes for all of our sessions. So with that context about the overall program, I'm excited to share a few details of what's on for today's program for today. We have a jam-packed program. We have 10 amazing sessions today. And if you'd like to have an overview, feel free to take a screenshot of this overview. Otherwise, the program is all available on our website. Really excited to have our keynote speaker. We've got Ambassador Feakin, who is going to be our first speaker for today, kicking off NetThing. We also have our first panel on protecting Australia's critical infrastructure, which is going to be moderated by Terry Sweetser and myself, and a variety of different speakers from across different sectors. So I think that's going to be quite an interesting one, especially for anyone who has a passion for cybersecurity. Next, we will have a showcase session. So this year we actually have a few different session formats. We're not purely providing panel sessions, so pretty excited to have that variety in the types of sessions we're providing. Bart Hogeveen is going to be running a session on AU Check, which is a joint project between ASPI and ALDA, which is aiming to help promote the uptake of common internet security standards in Australia by providing a free suite of open source tests that helps users to check the security of websites. So thank you to Bart for running that showcase. Next, we'll have a panel discussion about vaccine passports and digital rights, which will be facilitated by Rita McElraith, who is from Electronic Frontiers Australia. And she is going to be facilitating a discussion about issues related to vaccine passports, including data security, the use of personal information, and potential avenues for discrimination. So I think that will be quite thematic, considering the health theme that we have in our program. Next, we have a panel about internet as an essential service, where panelists will be discussing how the COVID-19 pandemic has increased our reliance on digital infrastructure, with quite a large and diverse range of panelists from different sectors who will be joining that particular session. That session will be followed by an informal fireside chat with Rosemary Sinclair, the CEO of ALDA, who will be unpacking ALDA's 4-year strategy and how ALDA sees itself in contributing to domestic and regional and international internet governance communities. Following that, we will have a panel on tech and environmental sustainability, which is hosted by Peter Lewis. So he'll be discussing sustainable environmental technology with a fantastic panel. That will be followed by Data in Whose Interests, which is being hosted by Erin Turner from Choice. And our last 2 sessions for the day, misinformation, disinformation, which is actually a workshop that's being run by Sunita Bose, Managing Director of the Digi Group, and then followed by DNS abuse, which is being moderated by Chris Disbane. So really excited about all of those sessions. And I'd really like to take this moment to just sincerely thank all of our generous sponsors who help to make NetThing happen every single year. Thanks to our sponsors for your support and your contributions to the event. We are primarily a volunteer-run initiative, and without your support, this event wouldn't happen. So thank you to all the sponsors who are pictured here on this slide. And last but not least, I'd also like to thank our steering committee who volunteer their time and their passion for the internet in Australia to make NetThing happen. So thank you to everyone who is mentioned here. You do make a huge difference, and all these people have been working behind the scenes for months and months to get us to today, to this amazing event. So we're about to get into the actual content for NetThing, and I'm extremely excited to announce and to introduce our opening speaker for NetThing 2021, Dr. Tobias Feakin, the Ambassador for Cyber Affairs and Critical Technology. Dr. Tobias Feakin is Australia's inaugural Ambassador for Cyber Affairs and Critical Technology, a role which sees him lead a whole of government international engagement to advance and protect Australia's national security, foreign policy, economic and trade and development interests in cyberspace and critical technology. Prior to his ambassadorial appointment, Dr. Feakin was the Director of National Security Programs at the Australian Strategic Policy Institute, where he established the International Cyber Policy Centre. He was additionally the Director for National Security and Resilience at the Royal United Services Institute in London from 2006 to 2012. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Dr. Feakin to kick off NetThing 2021 with our first keynote.
Hi, Bronwyn. It's Cheryl Langdon, or here, and definitely not Dr. Tobias Feakin. He has a slight delay. He is coming. He'll be with us very, very shortly. But in the interim, I just wanted to honour him and link it to why he is such an important keynote address for our NetThing 21, but also NetThing in general. Way back before we kick-started off with Sandra and the rest of the fantastic team, the very beginnings of our what we now know as NetThing, way back we had a meeting provided by the great and very, very generous invitations that Annalise and others from the departments down in Canberra. And we met about 7 of us sitting around a table with Dr. Feakin. And it was his discussion with us as representatives of interested parties of internet governance in Australia that thought we should go back to having an annual or regularised event for community discussion about the internet and why it is so important as a communication modality for all of Australians, not just about politics, not just about points of view, but a point of discourse and conversation between business and end users and industry, and even those who have difficulty and disadvantage of getting on the internet, be that through cost or access, and various other points of equity. And they're all the exciting things that we will be discussing today. I wonder, Sandra, as one of our Kickstarters who gathered in the year after Toby brought us all together down in Canberra, when we met in Canberra, did you want to take a moment and give us a minor historical perspective while we wait for our ambassador to get queued up and get ready to go? If not, I can filibuster. If there's going to be any additional delay, looking at the back channel that is happening at the moment, we probably want to, Sandra, all you need to do is turn on your video and open your mic and you will be here. And I'm assuming that Sandra is, of course, a panelist. If not, we can promote her to do that. There we are. Someone will make the magic happen. And we can also work to see whether we need to bring up the first panel. So the team, who are extremely busy while I'm standing here, well, sitting here actually, chatting to you on the microphone and video, and we can perhaps bring that next one forward. Sandra, do we have you?
Yes, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Can you see me, everybody? I'm here.
And hear you perfectly.
Thanks,
so,
Cheryl.
One day, many years ago, and...
Thanks, Cheryl. And apologies, everybody. We're hoping to get Tobias on as quickly as possible. Cheryl, Cheryl's been involved, I suppose, in the internet governance community for dare I say it, decades. I have flitted in and out of the community right back to when Outer was first born about 20 years ago. But recently, as Cheryl said, about 3 years ago, with Tobias's help, there were a group of organisations, from memory it was APNIC, the Electronic Frontiers Foundation, ACAN, coordinated with the likes of Annalisa from the Federal Department of Communications, and probably Internet Australia. And I was asked to help breathe some new life, or bring back some life to the internet governance community. I think what had happened prior to that is that it had fallen by the wayside, and I certainly, when I look to our sisters and partners, say NetThing in New Zealand, we thought there was this huge opportunity for Australia to re-engage and reignite the way that we coordinate ourselves as part of the local internet governance community. And so a range of us spent a couple of years, I suppose, trying to breathe new life into what became NetThing. We were the AUIGF, and we've become NetThing. NetThing indeed is another story which I'll tell another time. It's perfect timing. I think Tobias is here, so I can't tell you the story of the last 3 years. Suffice to say, there's a lot of it is all done with the sweat and blood and heart and tears of a bunch of volunteers. Melody, thanks for that message. And I might hand straight over to Tobias. Good morning and welcome.